Good morning, students. Today we study about the tissue system. Tissue system is a complex of cells having similar origin and performing more or less similar functions. There are three main types of tissue systems found in plant body. First, epidermal or dermal tissue system. Second, ground or fundamental tissue system. And third, vascular or fascicular tissue system. Today we study about the epidermal and dermal or dermal tissue system and ground or fundamental tissue system. In next class we study about the vascular or fascicular tissue system. The epidermal tissue system, first one, it consists of epidermis with various outgrowths and openings found in different parts of the plant body such as roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruits. It is derived from the primary apical meristem known as protoderm. Means the epidermal tissue system derives from the primary apical meristem known as protoderm. It consists of epidermis having number of stomata and trichomes. The epidermis is the outermost layer of cells covering the exterior of the plant body. Its primary function is the protection of inner tissue. The cells of epidermis are rectangular or barrel shaped. Usually epidermis is single cell thick, but in roots of orchids and leaves of Ficus bengalensis, that is banyan tree, it is multilayered and is thus called as multiple epidermis. Epidermis is usually parenchymatous, but the epidermis of aquatic plant possesses chloroplast and thus perform the function of photosynthesis. Epidermis of bracts coloring pigments. The epidermis of leaves and young stem possess number of small stomata meant for the exchange of gases. The epidermis of xerophytes is covered by a thick layer of cuticle meant for the preservation of water loss. In some plants, the epidermis possesses outgrowths resembling hairs or trichomes, which are either unicellular or multicellular, simple or branched, soft or stiff. In some plants, the crystals of mineral salts like silica, calcium carbonate, etc. are also deposited in the cells of epidermis. Example is grasses. The outermost layer of the root is called piliferous layer or epiblema, while the outermost layer of stem it is called as epidermis. Its function is the absorption of water and mineral salts. The epiblema possesses numerous unicellular root hairs. Stomata are apertures in the epidermis bounded by two specialized epidermal cells called as guard cells. The guard cells, by change in shape, bring about the opening and closing of the aperture. The term stomata is applied to the entire unit, including the aperture and the guard cells. The number of stomata in each unit area of leaf varies with the kind of plant and its ecology. They also differ in number on the upper and lower surfaces of the leaf. Stomata are generally present on the leaves, but in young stems they are also present on epidermis. The function of stomata is they are used for the exchange of gases between the plant and atmosphere. Each stoma thus opens into a substomatal cavity. Evaporation of water takes place through stomata. Then trichomes. The appendages of the epidermis are known as trichomes. The trichomes are unicellular. They may be simple or branch. They are further classified into the following types: hairs, scales or pelted hairs. Glandular trichomes are collectors, and bladders are water vesicles. Hairs, they are unicellular or multicellular. Root hairs are simple and unicellular epidermal outgrowths. The staining and glandular hairs are complex and multicellular. The cells of the hair may be dead or living. Functions of root hairs are hairs. Root hairs absorb water. Hairs on leaves and stem reduce transpiration. Hairs on stigma catch or hold the pollen grains. Hairs on fruit and seeds help in dispersal. Glandular hairs, stinging hairs, protect the plant. Scales are pelted hairs. These are specialized trichomes which possess discoid provided with a basal stalk. Glandular trichomes. These are multicellular stalk specialized trichomes with a globose head. These are found in leaves and stipules of the members of family Rubiaceae, Apocynaceae, and Asclepiadaceae. The outer cells of globose head are secretory in nature. Then bladder or water vesicles. In some plants, the trichomes are expanded into the water-containing cells. These cells occur in young leaves and stems and look like drops of ice. Functions of epidermal tissue system: protection of internal tissue against injury, climatic fluctuations. Second, prevention of water loss in large amounts from the body of the plant. Third function, protection of internal tissue against parasites, intense illumination and radiation. Next function is protection against the grazing animals by developing prickles or spines. storage of water and food reserve in xerophytic plants. Next function, photosynthesis, then possesses chloroplast inside the cells. Next function is absorption of water and mineral salts through root hairs. Next function, secretion of waste and harmful products like resins, tannins, mucilage, etc. Next function is killing of prey by stinging hairs in nettles. Next function is stimulus reception as in mimosa sensitive plant. And last function is the exchange of gases through stomata present on it. These are the functions of epidermal tissue system. Now the second tissue system, that is ground or fundamental tissue system. This system extends from below the epidermis to the center and forms main bulk of the plant body. This system is derived from the peribleum and pleurome tissue of the promeristematic zone. In the ground or fundamental tissue develops from the peribleum and pleurome tissue of the meristem. The functions of ground tissue, they are: it meant for the storage of food. When it possesses green cells in cortex, it manufactures food material. It gives mechanical strength to the plant body. The parts of the ground tissue. In monocot stem, ground tissue is undifferentiated and consists only parenchyma tissue. But in dicot, it is divided into following parts: cortex, endodermis, pericycle, pith, and medullary rays. Cortex. It forms the outer region of the ground tissue and lies just below the epidermis. The thickness of cortex is variable in different plants. It may be differentiated into hypodermis and general cortex. It is first one, hypodermis. It is few layered zone lying just after epidermis. It is made up of collenchyma in dicot stems and sclerenchyma in monocot stems. It is undifferentiated in roots. In general cortex, it is many layered zone lying after the hypodermis in stem and after epiblema in roots. It is usually made up of thin-walled parenchyma with large intercellular spaces. In some plants, some of the outer layers are chlorenchymatous. Then the endodermis. It is the innermost zone of cortex encircling the pericycle. Sometimes it is undifferentiated. Because of the presence of starch grains, it is also termed starch sheath. Sometimes the cells of endodermis are stretched, hence they form trabecular endodermis as in hydrophytes. Endodermis is usually a single-celled thick zone without intercellular spaces. The radial and transverse walls of the cell possess the bands of suberin called Casparian strips. Endodermis is indistinct in the monocot stems, or it is absent in monocot stem. Functions of endodermis. The endodermis acts as a water tight jacket between xylem and cortical tissue. It also prevents diffusion of air inside the vessels. It prevents the loss of water, mineral salts, and food from vascular bundles. It also acts as storage organ for carbohydrates. It may also control some of the physiological activities of the adjoining cells like osmotic pressure and diffusion. Then pericycle. It is single or several layered zone lying after the endodermis. In root, it is one cell thick or undifferentiated. Similar is the case with monocot stems. In some monocot root, it is many cell thick. In dicot stem, it forms a multi-layered zone made up of sclerenchyma, parenchyma, or both together. In sunflower, the sclerenchymatous patches form the bundle caps. Functions of pericycle. The main function of pericycle is the formation of lateral roots. Second function, in dicot root, it develops cambium and cork cambium. It also develops adventitious roots in stem. Then next part is pith. It is the central mass of parenchymatous tissue in most of the roots and stems. In some dicot roots, it is poorly developed or absent. The cells of pith possess large intercellular spaces. The pith is rarely sclerenchymatous. In some plants, it may become hollow. Example, in moringa and cucurbita. Next is medullary rays. These are one or many celled thick radial rays arising from pith and extending up to pericycle. These are made up of parenchymatous cells. Medullary rays are absent in roots and in monocot stems. The function of medullary ray is to carry water and food material from pith to the peripheral tissue. In leaves, the ground tissue is termed as mesophyll. It is usually made up of chlorenchymatous tissue and is thus green in color. In dorsiventral leaves, the mesophyll is further differentiated into palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma living below epidermis and made up of compactly packed columnar cells. While the spongy parenchyma, they are irregularly distributed and loosely packed, that is, they having large number of intercellular spaces. While in isobilateral leaf, the mesophyll is not differentiated, it is undifferentiated. This is all about the ground tissue. In next class, we study about the vascular tissue system and types of vascular bundles. Thank you.